So, uh, good morning, everyone. A lot of us kind of always think about where do I find humor? So people go about searching for humor. Can I create humor? Where do can I find humor? Why are some people so humorous? Why are some people so witty when they talk? Why do some people always connect something with funny incidences that happened in their life? But when you look at all of that, what I found out is you don't have to go search for humor. Humor is there everywhere in our life. It's only that we need to kind of be observant towards it. Okay? Everything that we do in life, right from the time we step out of the house, we go to work, we go on travels, at the workplace, at home, you will always find humor somewhere. Okay? The only thing that we need to do is we need to just keep a diary or a collection to say, oh, this is something that I found humorous. And then write it down. And then slowly you'll find that you've got a collection of uh, anecdotes and experiences that are humorous, which you can kind of use whenever you want to kind of use it in a specific situation. Now, in my experiences traveling around the country and different parts of the world, there's a lot of humor that I've kind of come across. And the best place to kind of get humor, let me tell you, is no other country but our country. Especially if you travel to different parts of India, you will get humor in different places. I recollect once when we were doing a project in a place called Pitampur. So Pitampur is in Madhya Pradesh. Uh, it's closer to Indore, and we were doing a project for a pharma company there. And there was this driver there who used to kind of ferry us every day from Indore to Pitampur. He was a very talkative guy. And by speaking to him, you could get a lot of anecdotes about how life was in that part of the world. And once he related an incident to us, which it actually took off by saying that how one has to be very true to whatever you do at work, or you have to be very true to your job that you're doing. The discussion started from that. But he took it on a different, funny turn altogether when he said, narrated an incident. Now, I don't know how many of you would be aware of this. There is in Madhya Pradesh, a lot of that state has got a lot of forests. And till certain years back, there are certain areas, highways that go through Madhya Pradesh where it was not advisable for uh, people to travel alone. Okay, because you could get robbed or mugged because both sides are dense forest, and in that you had a lot of the tribal people who used to stay, and some of them kind of used to rob these trucks for food and all that. Now it's all gone. Now it's very rare, but those days it was very prevalent. And all the trucks kind of used to move through a convoy. So the police will take some 20, 30 trucks from one side, they will leave it in the other corner, and they will bring 20, 30 trucks from the other side, and they will come this side. So this guy said that he was once driving through that place, uh, and he disregarded the advice of a lot of people to kind of go in a convoy. So he was driving alone in the night, and he got stopped by those robbers. Yeah. And typically, what those robbers would do is they would tie you up, they will beat you up, they will take all your valuables, everything that is there, and they will leave. Okay. But they won't kill you or anything. So they will basically kind of give you a good beating, is what he said. They will tie you up, they will take your belongings and run away. So they caught him. And when they caught him, this guy said, you don't beat me. Okay, I will give you whatever I want. So to that, he said that the robber said, how can you tell us not to beat you? We are very true to the work that we do. We have to earn our living. So this is our process. We'll anyway beat you. Only then we will take you the money, irrespective of whether you say you don't beat us. Yeah. So he says, look, even those guys are true to their job. They ensure that they will beat people, only then they will take money. Yeah. So the way he said it, and he related it to saying that, so this is why we say integrity should be very important. I said, where is integrity and robbery coming in? He said, no, no, see, they were very true to their job. They worked hard for it, and then they took the money. They didn't take the easy way to say, somebody's stealing, take, don't beat me. They didn't kind of say, okay, I'll take. They ensured that they beat me up properly. They ensured that they tied me up, and only then they took the money and went. Okay. So it was kind of so humorous to say that this guy can actually relate it to something which is, we talk about being true to your work, and linking that to some people who are highway robbers. The second incident, which is very kind of humorous, again, you have to travel a lot within India to kind of get things like this. Is to say, once we were in a highway dhaba in that part of the town. Now, Indore is a very place where a lot of traffic passes up and down. It's like a center place of India. So anything that goes from the south of India, west of India, has to cross Indore and then go to the north. So there's a lot of truck traffic that goes up and down. So me and a friend of mine were sitting in a roadside dhaba. It was summer, and we were having our food. And next to us, there was this guy who was a truck driver. So he had parked his truck, and in the afternoon, he decided to drink. Okay, so he had got a bottle of some local liquor, and he poured it in. And obviously, he was looking for ice to put in the liquor. Now, in the dhaba will not keep ice. It was very hot in summer. So this guy looked around, and suddenly he found an ice vendor going. So the guy who sells ice on bicycles, which we see in small villages and all that. So he called that ice vendor. He bought that ice candy cone, and he just took that ice and put it in that glass. Now, it was so humorous that it was something that when people say, no, in corporate life, you say, how do you kind of bring this spontaneous situations? How do you react to it? Or how do you create instant solutions to problems? For that guy, it was an instant solution. He saw that ice vendor going, he called the ice vendor, bought an ice. Instead of eating that ice, he just put it in that his drink, and it cooled the drink, and then he had the drink. So for us who were looking at it, we were laughing to say, wow, this guy can be so ingenious doing it. And the last incident which I want to talk about as part of the speech is we know a lot of Indians love to speak English, right? But sometimes when we use English, we don't use it in the right context. Okay, and then it becomes kind of a point of humor for everybody. I recollect this incident which was told by a friend of mine. He was traveling from Bangalore to Delhi by train, and he was sitting on the lower berth. His berth was actually the upper berth. He was sitting on the lower berth, and there was nobody on the upper berth. Sorry, there's nobody on the lower berth, and he was on the upper berth. So a station came, and one person came into the compartment, and he saw this guy, and he said, because he was sitting on the lower berth, instead of saying that you are sitting on my berth or this is my berth, he tried to literally translate it in his local language into English, and he told this guy, "Excuse me, sir, this is my birthplace." Okay? So this guy was also shocked. He said, "Birthplace." Okay. I said, "No, no, no. This." Then he actually turned in the local language and said, "This is my birth." So our guy was telling that for a moment I was shocked, like how people can say this was my birthplace. Okay. So this is sometimes what happens in a lot of us when we try to use English, literally translate from our local language to an English language. So if you have to see humor, humor is there everywhere. I would only see that if each one of us is observant in the way we speak, each one of us looks around what is happening around us, I think all of us can be very good humorists in everything that we speak, and we can be a good conversationalist in any conversation. Thank you, and that was the end of my speech.
Let's hear from Toastmaster Uma about the evaluations of purpose speech of distinguished Toastmasters. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests, and especially my target speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon. They say humor is a very serious business. And I'm so glad that you got the knack of it and you started the speech with a statement. You have humor everywhere. The only thing you have to do is see it and pick it up. I love the way you started your speech because that is the core purpose of humor. not simply popping up jokes, but connecting us with that humor part so everyone will enjoy it. And as usual, we always, whenever you come with a speech, we always love to hear your own stories, your experiences, and we got 3 beautiful stories with 2 of your experiences, and we thoroughly enjoyed your speech completely. And there was a subtle humor throughout. Even if it was not a belly laughing humor, we had a lip stretching laugh here and there. That sprinkling of humor is what we needed. And it was an interesting speech and we enjoyed it. And the power of 3, you understood, and you just gave just 3 stories, not more, not less. And that made the speech very flavorful. But as a speech evaluator, I have a couple of suggestions to you to make your speech to go to the next level. Number 1, the visibility part. When you were giving the speech, you had your camera in the portrait mode. And because of that, you were occupying only half of the camera space, and the above half was completely empty. This was not giving a clear balance of you in the picture, and it might distract some audience listening to you, especially if they are in the gallery mode. We cannot ensure that not everyone will have the speaker mode and enjoy your speech. So make sure that you are using the maximum camera space so that you are visible clearly in whatever mode people are viewing into. And second, I kind of felt there was too much of explanation in your speech when you want to explain that humor, which is, I kind of personally felt is not needed, because if people are not able to catch that humor, we can move on and we can go to the next humorous part. It will be great. So no need to explain our own humor, and that is the worst experience any humorous person will encounter. Explaining our own joke, and if people are not catching it, that will be the most dangerous part, I should say. And I kind of felt you, rather than giving a too much of narration, you can use some catchy lines, some metaphors, some symbols to give an equivalent example. I just want to quote the thing is like a picture is equivalent to 1,000 words, we used to say, right? Same way, just a simple metaphor or symbol or some catchy lines will explain the part clearly and people were able to catch it. And this is not a suggestion area of improvement, but a general suggestion. It's a normal tendency people used to do is when we give some joke, we laugh along with that. And when that will be in the casual conversations, it may work, but in case of speeches, sometimes it may not work. So when we are giving our own jokes, if we can control our own laughter, it will be great, because when we laugh and people doesn't laugh, that will also become an awkward situation. So overall, to sum up, it was a great speech with subtle humor everywhere. You can concentrate on your camera coverage, use some catchy lines, and can reduce the explanation part. That the speech will be even more flavorful and we will enjoy even more. Thank you. Over to the general evaluator.